Good morning, Algebra 2 students. Today we are going to learn about simplifying complex fractions. So before we begin, we need to first define what a complex fraction is, and it is a fraction within a fraction. So if we look at number 1, we have 1/3 and 1/6 within this big fraction, the 2 plus 1/3 over 1/6 minus 1/4, or minus 4. So simplifying a complex fraction is very easy. We first want to look at our little fractions within that fraction, so the 1/3 and 1/6, and think about what is the LCD, or what is the common denominator. So our LCD here would be 6. So to simplify a complex fraction, we are going to multiply through top and bottom by the LCD. So when I multiply both sides by 6 over 6. Now a reminder that that doesn't change the value of the fraction because we're multiplying by 1. Well, remember that when we multiply two terms by 1, we have to distribute. So what happens is everything gets multiplied by the 6. 2 times 6 plus 1/3 times 6, 1/6 times 6, and 4 times 6. So we've taken these 6's on top and bottom and multiplied through to everything. So to continue to simplify, we have 12 plus 3 goes into 6 twice over 6 goes into 6 once minus 24. So the answer here would be 14 over negative 23. Easy enough? Well, now we're going to take it out of the concrete, look at the abstract with our variables. Again, we start by looking at our smaller fractions within the bigger fraction. We have 2 over x and x over 3. So our denominators are x and 3, which would make our LCD 3x, which means every term gets multiplied by 3x. Again, I'm multiplying top and bottom by 3x over 3x, and I can do that because 3x over 3x is 1. So I have 6 times 3x minus 2 over x times 3x, x over 3 times 3x plus 1 times 3x. Oops. Okay. When I clean that up, I get 18x. This is 3x over 1, so the x on bottom and the x on top cancel, minus 6 over here, 3x over 1, 3's cancel, x squared plus 3x. Now here I would look to see, is there anything I could factor and simplify? I could factor this. I would have 6 times 3x minus 1 over x times x plus 3. But even after I factor it, there's nothing I can cancel, so I could leave it in either form. This first form right here would be okay, or that form right there, as long as everything is simplified. Alright, let's try it again. Okay, so here we go. I've got a complex fraction I need to simplify. I'm going to take a look at my smaller fractions, so 6 over x minus 1 and 3 over x. So my LCD is going to be x times x minus 1. That means every term is getting multiplied by x times x minus 1. A good thing to remember that is if you do this correctly, the complex fraction will go away. So I have 6 over x minus 1 times x minus 1 minus 3 times x minus 1 over 1 times x minus 1 plus 3 over x times x minus 1. So now I should be able to cancel the complex fraction part out. So this quantity, x minus 1, cancels with that. Down here, this x will cancel with that x. and I continue to simplify and clean it up. So I have 6x left here minus, if I go ahead and distribute this, it would be, look at this as 3x, so it would be minus 3x squared plus 3x over, on the bottom, distribute here, I would have an x squared minus x and plus 3x minus 3 when I distribute that 3. My last thing here would be to clean up any like terms that I have. So I have a negative 3x squared plus 9x over, I have x squared plus 2x and minus 3. So the last thing I would look to see, is there anything I can factor and cancel? So let's see. Even if I went ahead and factor this, on the top I could factor out a 3x. That would leave me with negative x plus 3. On the bottom I would have x plus 3 and x minus 1. So these two are similar but not exactly the same, so there's nothing there that I can go ahead and cancel. So that would be my final answer. So let's try one more time to make sure that we're good. Number 4, again my smaller fractions are 1 over x squared and 1 over x, which means my LCD would be x squared. That means I multiply every term times x squared. So as you get better, you can start doing this. Times x squared, times x squared, times x squared, and times x squared. So on the left, the x squareds cancel, and I get 1 minus 3x squared over 4x squared, 1x over x squared. So one of the x's would cancel. I'd be left with plus x. That would be my final answer. Alright guys, here's what I want you to try. You've got 4 problems. All 4 of these closely parallel the problems we just tried together, so use your notes as a guide on how to complete these. Again, start by looking at the smaller fractions, what is the LCD, and then multiply through by that LCD on every term. Good luck. Thanks for watching my video.